Hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Komana, aka Coca Streets, and today we have a guest, and I'll have him introduce himself.
My name is Ehdiie. I am from Ghana. I love fitness. I love God. And we'll get into some
Everything
questions.
else.
And you get to know me.
Okay, great. So, what 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
3 words to describe myself.
Yep.
I will say logical, organized,
Okay.
and numbers.
Numbers.
Yes.
You like math?
Yes, I love numbers. So like anything that I do, it makes more sense to me when it's, in the number form. Like if I can calculate it, yeah.
So calculate your feeling of being on this video right now.
I would say I'm a shy guy, so I would say 65%.
65, okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not below 50. I'll take that. Okay, so what was your childhood like?
My childhood. My childhood was actually interesting because I grew up in, I would say 2 places. Yeah, my mom was working in another city, my dad was in another city, so I was growing up. I was mostly with my mom until I was 4 years old. Then I moved to my dad. Yeah, so I was schooling there, then I go back to my mom during vacation. So I was in between Tema and Takrade. Yeah, for those of you that know, yes.
So which one did you prefer between the 2?
Both of, I will say Takrade because that is where my formative years were. So I'll say that place, and because whenever I went there it was during vacation, so there was no school attached to that place. Yeah.
Okay. Enjoyment minister. Okay. So knowing that you're abroad, so what I would like to know is, what was your experience moving miles away from family to a new country? Or was it the first time you were leaving your country?
Yes, that was my first time actually. Okay, that was my first time leaving the country, but that was the first time leaving the continent of Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was actually excited, very, very excited, because I was like, I think I had never been in a plane before at that point. Yeah, I had traveled to other parts of Africa
by bus,
by road trip,
or by elephant.
We used to sit on our magic calabash, then you whisper some things and you arrive. Yeah, so I was actually excited when I was coming here. Yeah, even though China wasn't my first choice, but
weren't you, kind of missing home, like
when I got here?
Yeah.
The first time I arrived here, the next day I wanted to go back home.
The next day, what happened?
The next day, because I arrived in winter, right? And because I hadn't really traveled like that, I didn't know how winter was. Everything that we knew about winter was in movies.
And no one told you?
People told me. They even told me, oh, go and buy these clothes. All the clothes I bought, the one thing they never told me was to buy those inners. Yeah, the leg warmers and stuff. So first day I was wearing like 3 pairs of jeans and I was still cold.
Oh, you were in the north of China,
yes,
right?
I was in the north of
Which
China.
city?
I was in Fushun. It's close to Shenyang.
Oh yeah, it's close to Shenyang. Just. Oh.
Yeah. I was wearing 3 pairs of jeans and I was.
Of course, that won't be enough. That would never be enough in the north at all. Wow. Okay. So, what was your first culture shock?
The spitting. The spitting.
I don't think anyone ever gets over that. Like even now when I hear them, my mind is just like, oh my goodness, why?
it was such a shock to me because even for us back home, just blowing your nose in public, you know. Normally you want to even, you know, find a corner to go and do, but here they remove it from their soul.
From the pits, from the depth of their stomach, out of their belly shall flow rivers of spit.
Yeah, that was the first cultural shock. It was, I couldn't, And the second one was seeing everyone smoke.
Yeah, people smoke a lot here. For me, I think the spitting was even a worse experience because I was feeling like they were being racist. Like, oh, so when you see me because I'm not your color, you're spitting. So
she's not what a man do. It can't be possible.
It was later that I was explaining to someone like, these guys are like this, blah, and the person said, no, they spit all the time. It's not because of you. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Honestly, that was my initial experience. I said, this place is really bad. How can you spit when you look at me? You know, back home when someone does that to you, like it's the it's the utmost level of disrespect but it wasn't because they were being racist. It's because it's their culture. It's normal. You know, even farting is normal here. Like you can just fart anyhow and no one will ask you anything.
It's so interesting.
Oh my goodness! I once entered a Ehdiie, that's Chinese Uber, and almost the entire ride, the driver was just farting the whole way. And I didn't really know Chinese. I couldn't ask him, like, what's going on? What is it? It was horrible, but, you know, God has kept us here.
That was my experience with the first driver that took us from the airport. The time I arrived, the driver that took us from the airport to the school. Oh, he was farting the whole way. Farting the whole way. And you know, it's winter, so the windows are rolled up and
the heat plus the heat from the fat is all together. Okay. How long have you been in China?
Oh, I've been in China. I came in 2012.
Ancient of days.
So 14 years, right?
Ancient of days.
Yeah.
No, 12.
12 years.
12 years.
12 years.
12 years. Yeah. A baby that was born that time is going to high school soon. Hey, wow.
I've been in China for 12 years. Wow, time flies.
Okay, so after 12 years, what were your initial impressions about China before getting here and after staying here all these 12 years? Have those impressions changed?
Okay, coming here, I didn't really have the only impressions or the only things that I knew about China were the things that I saw in the Shaolin movies. You know, so coming here, I thought I would just be seeing monks everywhere, people dressing, how to dress, But when I got there, I was like, oh, my small mind, I was like, oh.
Where are the shifus?
Exactly. But right now, so I didn't really have much expectation, but I actually thought it was going to be similar to like countries in Europe, USA, and like Canada, Australia.
Was it similar?
No, because for this place, no matter how long you stay here, you will always feel like a foreigner.
Not always feel, they'll always remind you that you are a foreigner.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this part of the world is just different from everywhere else. Like, you don't know how to explain it to other people, but people who've been here and have moved to other countries, they know. They know what we're talking about. They know. So. But
it's not all bad, you know. It's they have some. I really applaud them for their hard work and their constant innovation. Like since I came to like this city, Jinhua, things have really changed from the time that I came till now. Like you can see the progress. And like
even my university, you know, I think was it last year, they broke down a building and the building is already almost done. Like they've taken out, you know, when they're building, they put that green stuff around. They're already taking that out and they're done building it in less than a year. Back home. Let's not.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years is small. There are some buildings that have been there like ancient of days. We've grown up, we've even come to university, and those buildings still haven't been finished. So let's go to the next question. Okay, so what do you consider to be your personal calling?
My personal calling, I've actually been feeling it strongly these days, is to help young men, especially. Yeah. And it's something that I'm going to start working on the second half of the year. Yeah, because I realize that there's not much advocacy for young guys, especially in terms of, because a lot of young men are lost, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, they're very lost, and then they end up, going with what the culture says. But I want most of them to understand that you can be in Christ and still, be someone that is not boring, or someone that is not that doesn't look like, they don't know anything.
They don't look like a weapon fashioned against someone.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So stay tuned. I will do something. This year, the second half of the year, something is going to be launched.
So men, you should follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you encounter God, and what is life like as a Christian in China?
I would say I've been a Christian all my life, actually, because I grew up in a Christian home.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to, she used to force us to go to church.
As usual.
Yeah, and most of the time Sundays I'll run away. So I've been in church, but I will say my majority of my Christian life, I've grown much since I got to China. Yeah, since I got to China is when I grew in my Christian walk. Yeah, and what was the second part?
What is life like as a Christian in China?
Oh, what is life like as a Christian in China? If once you realize what Paul was talking about, when you get to that point of being content, life as a Christian in China is very relaxed, actually. I would say relaxed, because unlike certain places, we know that there are certain places that people are facing a lot of persecution. Yeah, but here we do, there is a little bit of friction here and there, but it's most often than not relaxed, especially for the city that I'm in. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, the main reason why you're here today. So, what inspired you to become intentional about your health? That is fitness, diet, rest, etc.
I would say that was in 2018. I think either beginning of 2018 or late 2017. Yeah, we went mountain climbing.
Yeah.
We took some pictures, and it wasn't my phone, so they sent the pictures later. I looked at myself in the pictures. I was like, oh my God.
Who is that?
God have mercy upon us.
Yeah, I had let myself go. So that is why I decided. Because before that, I used to play soccer, and I was really active. So it didn't really affect me because I could eat anything. I was very active.
But did anyone ever mention to you oh, you're big and all of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I've always liked wearing big t-shirts and stuff. So when I'm outside, you can't really tell.
Know.
Yeah, so I got an injury, and then that's when I kept eating the same way I was eating. Yeah, because unlike the normal human being, I have a huge appetite. So when I go to, let's say, McDonald's or something, I can't just eat one burger.
You eat family meal?
I have to have 5 burgers. So yeah, that's when I decided to be intentional about my health. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the importance of fitness, diet, and rest?
Once you start taking care of your fitness, your diet, your rest, and everything, it actually bleeds into other aspects of your life.
Okay.
Yeah, because take for instance, if you are able to accomplish a fitness goal, it gives you this mental note that, oh, if I put my mind to something, I can actually accomplish it.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, it really helps, especially let's say with my work and everything. Yeah, I'm able to focus well because I know that I compartmentalize everything. Like as I was saying, everything. Numbers, right?
Yeah.
So with work, I make sure that, okay, I'm doing this particular numbers, this, that. Yeah.
Okay. So I hear that, you know, everything goes together. You can't just take fitness and not focus on your diet, and you also can't just focus on diet without focusing on rest. So how do these three now work together?
Yeah, I see a lot of people that, you know, they come and ask me, oh, how do I get in shape? What exercises should I do?
Yeah.
But I think that when you come and see me in the gym, I don't really do any crazy exercise, right? So I do the basics. You know.
What is basic to you will not be basic to me. It won't be basic to someone who doesn't work out. So don't say that it's just basic.
No, I mean basic as in, you know, when you go on Instagram these days, you can see certain videos.
Yeah.
Of people doing, like, you see these guys on the treadmill, like running at full speed. Yeah, that's not the workout that is going to get you in shape. Those things are for clicks. Yeah, but if you want to focus, if you want to get healthy, like all round, it's not about six pack or, you know, having you know, big arms. No, it's not about that. If you want to really get healthy, just focus on eating whole foods. Whole foods.
What are whole foods?
Like, stay away from the processed stuff. You can have them once in a while. Like for me, yesterday I had, you know, a whole pizza. Right? You can have that once in a while.
As in, you can finish a whole pizza by yourself.
Yes.
As in the 12 inches or the 9.
The 12-inch. Yesterday I was craving it, so I got it. Yeah. So you stay away from the processed stuff. Majority, let's say 90% of how you eat should be whole foods, like the potatoes, the rices, you know, beans, anything processed. I would say once in a while, then you can have it. Yeah.
So just balance.
Yeah, just
there should be balance.
Yeah.
And when it comes to rest,
when it comes to rest, everyone has the way of resting. For me, if I have anything less than 7 hours, my eyes burn. So like my body tells me that you didn't rest enough, right? I go to the gym, I won't be able to perform well. Okay. So for rest, you have to know your body, and I would advise that you get something to track your rest. There are so many fitness trackers these days. Yeah. Well, for me, I use an Apple Watch. There are some cheap...
Apple.
There are some cheap alternatives there, you know. Samsung just came out with a ring. Like, there are so many things out there that you can use to track your rest. So just it's trial and error, right? Yeah. So I won't say, 7 hours for you. No, maybe for me it's 8 hours. Maybe for you it has to be 12. Who knows? Yeah. So you just have to do trial and error. With this thing about fitness, nutrition, and all that, it's about trying to see what works for you. Yeah.
Okay. So based on all of this research that you've done and seeing how it's worked for you, do you plan to pursue a career as a fitness instructor or a dietitian or something like that?
Yes, actually I will because I'm hoping to open my own gym one day, and yes, that gym will give some services where, you know, to teach people about food, because nutrition is very simple. Once you get to know it, you see, really, you'll never be on a diet again. Once you figure out your nutrition, you'll never be on a diet. Yeah, so yes, I would really want to do that in the near future. Yeah.
Okay, so our last question. What advice would you give to young people today, especially those abroad or planning to go abroad?
Okay, let's break it down. Those who are abroad, I will say that remember why you traveled there. Remember why you went to that country that you went, you know, wherever that you are. Remember the reason you got there. And also remember that you are there by yourself, right? You came alone. You might meet some great people along the way and all that, but do not lose focus of your family. Yeah, do not lose, because they are from where most of us come from. Our families are counting on us, right? So yeah, for those who are abroad, remember why you are there and do not lose focus. For those that are planning to travel, I will say research very well the places that you want to go. Talk to people who are already there. Don't talk to just one person or anything. Now we have Instagram, we have Facebook. You know, there are so many ways to get in touch with people. You can even get, most places have groups that you can join and all that. So research very well the place you want to go, and then before you make your decision, because most of us wish we had certain information before we traveled. Yeah,
that's true, because for many of us it was just let me just go here because it's
available.
Yeah, we didn't get the depth of everything. But do you think if we were even told the truth, we would have listened? Would have just still been in that excitement? Because you came in 2012, you were also pretty young.
Yeah.
I came to China in 2014, I was also pretty young, and I was just excited to leave the country.
Yeah, I think that because at that point, you know, our parents and stuff were the ones paying for our fees, our flights and everything. If they also got that information, I'm sure it would have informed our decision better. We might not have really listened.
Yeah.
We might not have really listened, but it would have depended on where that information was coming from. Because if it's coming from people that you know, you just feel like they don't want me to come there. But if it's coming from strangers, people that you've never met and all that, and they're telling you, hey, before you come here, make sure you know A, B, and C. Like for my case, I wish someone who was already here told me, hey, you need leg warmers. I had no idea about that, right? Yeah, so I think that we might not have listened, but at least if 4 out of 10 people listen, it will be good.
But do we even have warmers back home? How are you going to get warmers back home?
Yeah, we don't. Well, actually, we do.
Really?
Yes, I realized that there are certain shops that sell, especially for those going outside.
Oh, yeah. Then probably they'll have.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Any final thoughts before we round off?
Final thoughts. I would say that make sure to have a balanced life. Make sure that you are always in tune with God. Yes, do not forsake, your calling, especially because all of us today at church, one of the scriptures that we read was that you were bought at a price, right?
Yes.
You are bought at a price. So remember that you are precious. You are precious. Your life is not just your life. It's a life that has to please God. And once you learn to please God, you won't even learn how to please God. It just becomes automatic, and you'll be content with your life. And that is where you realize that things like peer pressure and stuff, I'm already content. So yeah, and take care of your health also. Take care of your health. You don't need to go to the gym lifting heavy like me. No, just even if it's walking around for 1 hour or 30 minutes a day, just do that, and you'll see huge improvements.
Yeah, you motivated me to start going to the gym.
Yeah,
I started going to the gym in June. I think. I was like, let me just do something. So I started. It's just, I think this past week or 2 weeks I've been relaxed, but I'm trying to do the home workouts. But I think home workouts are harder than gym workouts. I don't know the logic there, but
because the gym, I realized that during the time of COVID, the gym, you can see your progress. Like I'm lifting maybe 30 kgs, then the next week I go 32.5. But home, you just have these small dumbbells and
you're not really seeing.
You're not seeing. So I think that is why.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Brother Ehdiie, what should I call you?
Just Ehdiie. Ehdiie is fine.
Oh, he's my brother-in-law. He's my brother-in-law. Yes, so that's why I'm calling him brother. And also because we go to the same church, and at church we call each other brother and sister. So, Brother Ehdiie. Brother Ehdiie, no, don't worry. It was nice having you, Ehdiie. And we hope that next time when we have you here, you would have achieved some of the things you mentioned here. You know, your goals for the men's is it mentorship or?
Yeah, something like a mentorship role or just teaching men how to be men of God. Yeah.
Okay, so discipleship for men.
Yes.
Okay, so the discipleship for men and also the fitness and the diet. We hope to have a better update, not better, to have growth. So the update will be big.
Amen.
And the next video will be 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, this was our video for today, and I'm going to attach Eddie's Instagram so that you can follow him, especially for the men. He said he's mentoring men. He said he's mentoring men. Don't go and message him as a lady saying you want mentorship.
No, they can message me. I will direct them to where to go.
Where to go?
Yes.
No, you can. If you want from ladies, if you want mentorship, you message me. I'll direct you. Don't message Ehdiie. Don't message Ehdiie. Okay, bye bye and God bless you. See you next time.
Nice, see you. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.